14th of May. It is 10:30 a.m. in Melbourne. And let's just, I just opened up the energy listing, and yes. So at midnight, we had the moon in Leo making an opposition with Pluto in Aquarius. So that's some heavy energy where we are really kind of looking at our own egocentric emotional self in relation to how it's affecting the collective, and how that is a deep wound for a lot of us in being able to stand up for what we believe in and take leadership over our emotions when it comes to the collective. There's a huge human, all of us, human thing that people do, which is to really lean into their emotions as a technique for manipulation. And we're really being asked under this energy with the solar storm, with the eclipses that we've just been through, to learn how to speak from ourselves truthfully and to not be using it as manipulation, okay? So today is a bit of an up and down day. It's really a day that is asking for a lot of compromises across many parts of our energy systems, all right? We have got, there's going to be some anxiety coming up in relation to our rule structures that are really kind of being lit up here as whether or not they are positive or negative, and we're being asked to kind of go with the flow. And we're going to see that, as we always do in humans, we're going to see that come through in relationship dynamics first. And you're going to be looking around your relationship dynamics, all of them, okay, with yourself, with your work, with your partners, with your friends, with your family. And you're going to be trying to find whether or not they're good for you in the way of how they make your body physically feel, mentally feel, emotionally, spiritually feel, but also in the idea of security, whether they make you feel secure, whether they make you feel stable, whether there's something that you can lean on, all right? A lot of that energy around, a lot of sorting through energy, and a lot of like sudden kind of ideas and like new ways of seeing things and of dealing with your emotional space being opened up today with that Uranus energy around as well. And we've got a few quintile aspects, and that really does point towards making order, okay? So the sun is in Taurus, the moon is in Leo. We are very headstrong in this energy, and we've got these aspects with the sun and the moon and Jupiter, and they're all kind of asking us, how are we going to expand? And to do that from a place of inner security and understanding what that is, while also being able to share who we are. It's very difficult energy. We've also got Lilith coming in the afternoon, Lilith representing, of course, our fears around feeling shame and guilt and being misunderstood for who we are. And in Virgo, she's really asking us about, have we used ourselves to oppress others? Like, have we just been a part of that? Have we just been a part of putting people down to be part of a group? And how we have oppressed ourselves. And that moon in Leo, very strong on the ego energy, is going to be pretty hard on ourselves looking at that. So just be aware, let those thoughts come in. They're there to be used for healing, not to be used to talk ourselves down, all right? So we get to the afternoon where we do get some really beautiful forward movement. We get the moon in Leo and and Mars in Aries, very forward motion, very ready to go, and making a trine aspect. So really uplifting us, really lighting a fire under all of this change that we've been able to kind of see needs to happen, and really closing that night out with being able to see what rule structures in our deep inner being need to be altered in order to find our happiness again and find our sense of self, and really asking us like things in the category of like, does this meet your needs? Is this what your body is telling you? Like, what are you ignoring? What are you refusing to look at? Okay. So really take the time to feel it out in your body. Taurus wants you to feel it out. It's a very sensual sign, very much about feelings. So then we get to tomorrow, Wednesday the 15th. And like, it's an up and down kind of day. It has a couple of squares, one with Venus and one with Uranus. And now square energy is battle energy. And we've got a lot of fire still around. We are in Taurus season, but of course we have just come through a lot of fire energy. So tomorrow is really about looking at our future now through this light of a more of an understanding of where we need to lift ourselves up, and really trying to find compromises within our rule structure that we thought were rigid, all right? with that Saturn energy around, it really wants us to look at things that we thought couldn't be changed, and Pisces wants us to go with the flow. So there are things about our rule structure that we got from other people, from growing up, from our parents, from our teachers, from society, from the collective, from advertising. And we've taken those things and we've made them our rule structures, and they are not our rule structures. And with the moon in Leo, we're really given this opportunity to see which of those things are our rule structures and which ones we need to kind of flow through with and move into a space of moving from ourself. All right. Now, this is going to show up in kind of some relationship battles, some ego relationship battles, someone kind of coming in and really bringing that energy of, I want to do it my way. And that Venus in Taurus wants to be a little bit softer about it while also still feeling secure. So we will be kind of asked to see how wounding from the past has allowed us to get into this anxiety and this negative mindset around being able to speak our truth. And we're going to be asked with, and really it's supported by Uranus in Taurus in a way, battling with that emotional side to try and find a new way forward. And like Uranus is about revolutionary change and being able to come up with new ideas and new ways through this energy. And as we move into the evening, we see Lilith then getting lit up by the sun in Taurus in a positive way to see that we can be our own inner security. And there will be some material world examples of that with both of those signs being earth signs. And that will then really help us understand this shame that's been holding us back, these ideas of feeling guilty by not doing too much for others, and this programming that we've potentially, particularly people who grew up, you know, mothering and fathering their parents or having to look after all of their siblings, those sort of people were very affected by this and are being very uplifted to heal. And, you know, the last aspect tomorrow, Sun in Taurus squaring the moon in Leo, it's a bit of a fight energy because it's about our security and our stability, fighting our own emotional needs. So like, what do I need to give to the collective in order to get my security? But where then do I get to give my egocentric emotional side and understand, you know, that that's okay to feel as well. So very push and pull energy on the Wednesday. On Thursday, likely to be kind of shut down a little bit in the morning space of how to move forward. Like you might have come up with an idea on Wednesday and then we get to Thursday morning and it's kind of like, nah, it's not going to work out like that. We get to then be supported by an aspect making some compromise energy, some really good talk it out kind of energy as that moon then moves into Virgo, putting us into a more work-based mind. We'll be able to be more critical about moving forward. We'll be able to make more compromises and more order out of our thoughts, particularly those that are in that dark Pluto space of the underworld, of our addictions and our fears and those sorts of underlying dark shadow programs that make us kind of act out and project our things onto other people. It's very anxiety triggering on Thursday night because we are dealing with a lot of Chiron energy around as well, and really kind of looking at that wound of being ourself and putting ourself first, okay? So by the end of that night, it's a very tiring evening, so we'll be very tired Friday morning, okay? Because we are waking up then Friday morning with that kind of shame story, really trying to find security again, really trying to sort through, make order, and trying to figure out which of these emotional programs are worth holding on to, which of them aren't worth their weight because all they do is bring us down. Now that's going to show up, of course, in our relationship dynamics because we do have Venus and Chiron meeting up as well. So we find this energy of making compromise to move forward, and then we sort of will be able to make these compromises inside of relationships that we deem worthy of these compromises, and that through that we then get to heal parts of these woundings from our childhood that really kind of held us back from feeling like we should speak our desires, our emotional needs. And Friday afternoon, just before 6 o'clock, there is a Mercury in Taurus square Pluto in Aquarius. And this is a huge kind of fight energy between the way that you are thinking versus this underworld situation, this kind of darkness, shadow space. It's really your old programming about feeling too weird, too strange, and really saying, no, I'm alone. And that Mercury in Taurus being our mindset, looking for security and stability and connection to body, and really kind of wanting you to find security to speak and security to within a group space of getting your ideas across, like, who are my people, where is my security in people, and Pluto whispering, you're too weird, you're going to be alone forever. It's that kind of an energy on Friday night. Now, the positive of that energy is that the whole purpose of it is to cause anxiety, unfortunately, for those of you who suffer with that. But through these feelings of anxiety, these are lights being shone on parts of you that need to be worked on. And these feelings of anxiety that are coming up under this energy, we are dealing with the moon in Virgo, Pluto in Aquarius, and Mercury in Taurus. These are about speaking, feeling secure enough internally to speak and to do the work and to understand what it is about your emotional space that needs to be able to speak its truth. Now, Friday night, we get an opposition to Saturn as well, which is going to really help us do the work, moon in Virgo, do the work to implement these changes to our rule structures that are requiring us to throw out old programming and go with the flow, okay? So that's up until Friday. We'll do the weekend when we get there. Have a really great week. It's very heavy on the anxiety, unfortunately, and that solar storm is not helping us out. If you would like a birth chart reading or some astrological counseling to sort of go through this on a more personal basis on what your chart is telling you, please go to my website and hit me up. You can also send me an email, theexpliciterempress@gmail.com. We can talk about it through there, which would work for you first. I am happy to just invoice you directly if you're after something like that as well. Okay, I know a lot of people are having issues at the moment with technology. So that's the solar storm. But anyway, come and find me on TikTok and Instagram, where I am trying to post up as much information about this energy at the moment because of how heavy it is in the transformation. A lot of my clients are sort of rolling in now with like what's going on, and I'm happy to help out as many people as possible. I do have some space for some birth chart analysis for next week. So make sure you come and find me if you're interested, and be kind to yourself and be kind to everyone around you this week. Okay, everyone is very heavily inside of their heads, and we do not know what wounds people are healing. We do not know what traumas people are reliving right now, okay? So kindness always to self and others, and if you can't be kind, go be a hermit, okay? Let's evolve. Let's do it. Stay weird.